What is up, everybody? I came back for another battle. This one was recommended to me by a friend. Red Lightspeed Ranger Carter versus Magna Defender Mike. No, not the original Magna Defender. This is Mike after he possesses the power of Magna Defender. So we are going to rate this battle from strength, speed, agility, battle intelligence, weapons and equipment, and combat skills overall. So let's get right to it. All right, let's talk about the strength department for both these guys. When it comes to strength, I believe that Mike has the overall strength. Carter tends to put more of a counter puncher, blocking and counter punching his attacks, and then using some power punches and power blows. Not to the extreme, but there's a good enough power right there when he does strike. But overall, Magna Defender in general just have more of a raw strength and power and like durability. Now that Mike possesses that power, I believe that Mike as well has the same amount of strength that the Magna Defender has. So when it comes to strength, I definitely would give the point to Mike. Let's move on to combat skills. All right, for this category, I believe that Magna Defender is way superior than Mike ever was. Mike, kind of like in majority of the episodes, sometimes he was just there with the Rangers, helping out. He never really got too many shining moments the moment he became Magna Defender. At times when he did fight, around the beginning times, he did have trouble against like certain villains. And it kind of always ended up like the Rangers always helping him out. Don't get me wrong though, by the end of the seasons, I believe Mike did improve his skills in combat, majority in his swordsmanship. But in the overall category for combat skills, he's lacking. He's lacking compared to the Magna Defender. I don't believe that by the end of the series that Mike ever truly, reached the Magna Defender's skill and speed and everything. For Carter, however, like I said, he tends to be more of a blocker counter puncher. I noticed that Carter is very intelligent when it comes to combat. Like his instincts are sharp. Like he has very sharp instincts where if he's going against three people, like those punches coming at him, like he's able to quickly react to those punches, blocking, focusing on one person and then immediately focusing on the other. But that's only when it comes down to like equal speed or less speed. Carter tends to have problems when it comes to fighting someone who has more strength or more speed than he does. But when someone's going toe-to-toe with him and they're like kind of evened out in the speed department, Carter can keep up. He could majority block and counter-attack majority of any strike attacks coming at him. Like I said, his instincts are very sharp. So between Mike as Magna Defender and Carter, for the overall combat skills, I am definitely going to give it to Carter. He just seems more sharper and more in tune with his combat skills compared to Mike. Mike tends to be a little bit sloppy, So let's go to the speed and agility department now. All right, for the speed and agility, speed-wise, when it comes to like attack speed, they both seem pretty even. Mike tends to be kind of slow when he does do any striking methods. As well as Carter. Carter tends to be kind of slow, but he does very well against like blocking, counter punching. But when it comes to actually like attacking fully, like he's just not that quick as well. I feel like they're both equal when it comes to attack speed, and I'm gonna give it an even score for both. For the agility, definitely gonna give it to Carter. Carter tends to flip more, do more backflips or side flips, anything to help him gain an edge when it comes to battle, to help dodge or move away from incoming attacks. I feel like he's just more agile compared to Mike. Mike is kind of just flat-foot. He just relies on his, on his weapon. If he can, do good with the swordsmanship fighting, then he relies on his blaster and uses more of his blaster from mid-range. Compared to Magna Defender, Magna Defender was very good, very strong, fast, and his agility was up there, to maneuver, think fast, and strike quick. Compared to Mike, just Mike is very lacking on the agility department. Battle intelligence, like I said, when it comes to battle intelligence, Mike tends to sometimes put himself in a situation where if an opponent is coming at him, or he tends to have some kind of an edge towards Mike kind of just doesn't think anything through. He kind of just sometimes sits there and gets hit directly from his opponent. Sometimes he doesn't have the intelligence to really counter an attack, to overthink an outcome, to outsmart his opponent too many times. At times he does, don't get me wrong. Like I said, probably by the end of the series, he has learned to kind of like be more in tune with the Magna Defender powers. But in overall general, he's just been hit more times than compared to the Magna Defender. Carter, however, he's a naturally born leader, I always feel like Carter is kind of underrated. Like, he's literally one of the best leader Red Rangers there is. And I feel like in battle situations, Carter tends to have the smarts to really try to outmaneuver his opponents when it comes down to it. So, battle intelligence, I'll give it to Carter. Let's talk about weapons and equipment. Alright, for Carter, he tends to have his rescue blaster, his standard pistol, which also turns into a sword as well, so you can use it for close quarter combat. He also tends to have the V-Lancer as well, which is an upgraded weapon where he could use it into a slightly more powerful blaster, or he could turn it into like a sword staff and use a super slash attack with it. And he's also equipped with the battle booster, which he keeps on his wrist, and it increases the striking power of his punch to a great extent. It does a pretty good amount of damage. Now for Mike as Magna Defender, he has the Magna Defender's Defender Blaster, which he could use as shots, or also use it as a rapid shot fire and do multiple shots like within a couple seconds right away. You can also use it and transform it into sword mode and use it for close quarter combat and do sword strikes, as well as do a super slash attack as well. So literally right here, you can already kind of tell that Carter just has more arsenals. In the end, I believe that the Magna Defender weapons is kind of a little bit superior. Up until Carter tends to have the V-Lancer plus the battle booster, it leans more towards Carter. So I'm going to give Carter the point for weapons. Here's the scorecard, what I think overall in general for strength: Mike; combat skills, Carter; speed, even; agility, Carter; battle intelligence, Carter; weapons and equipment, Carter. And here's the overall score points. The winner, I declare, is Carter in the end. So let's start with a short battle scenario. Okay, they both morph. Mike yelling Magna Power, turning into the Magna Defender. Carter goes on saying LightSpeed Rescue, turning into the Red LightSpeed Ranger. Carter will start off using his blaster and shoot a couple shots at Mike. Mike will use his Defender Sword, swing in all directions, deflecting the blasters. At that point, Carter moves in for a close combat, turning his blaster into a sword mode, striking at Mike. Mike blocks all Carter's attacks and tries to punch at Carter, but Carter blocks his punch. Mike will then knee Carter's stomach to unbalance him and do some kind of slash strike attack at Carter, hitting him a couple times. Mike will use a heavy slash one more time, but Carter will jump over Mike and strike Mike on his back with his sword, then kicking Mike forward. Mike will turn around. Carter is now coming at Mike with a strike attack. Mike turns his sword to blaster mode and quickly rapid fires at Carter, hitting him, putting him to the ground. Alright, Carter's kind of damaged at this point. Carter will slowly get up and call upon his V-Lancer. Carter runs towards Mike. Mike aims and shoots rapid fire shots again at Carter, but Carter leaps in the air and blasts Mike with his V-Lancer, shooting, dropping Mike in one knee. Carter then uses his V-Lancer into his staff mode and slashes at Mike like 2 times, and then uses his super slash attack, damaging Mike to the ground. Mike slowly gets up and charges at Carter using rapid fire, non-stop rapid fire shots at Carter, causing Carter to dodge and roll around trying to evade being shot at. Once Mike gets close, he turns his blaster into sword mode and go back and forth until eventually Mike disarms Carter and strikes him, and using his strength to throw Carter to the ground. Mike will leap into the air and then use his super slash attack, damaging Carter big time. At that point, Carter uses all his strength, activates his power booster, and Carter clenches his fist, leaps forward into the air and at Mike. Mike blocks with his sword, only to have his sword fly away from his hands due to the power and the force from the power punch. Carter uses his power booster again and punches Mike with a direct hit, causing him to fly backwards in midair. Carter gets up close and hand-to-hand combat, where Carter is able to block, counterpunch, and leap out of Mike's attacks. Mike eventually will tire out during the fight, and Carter will finish Mike with his blaster and rapidly shoot multiple shots at Mike, and causing Mike to eventually demorph. And overall, I do declare Carter the winner, and I think in overall general, the Magna Defender is way superior compared to Mike. I think Magna Defender definitely probably would have gave a more better fight towards Carter, but I kind of wanted to do what would be a better fight in general. You know, like Mike hasn't really been mentioned too much. They always mention more of the Magna Defender, so I wanted to give Mike more of a chance here. And if it came down to the actual Magna Defender, possibly Carter might have need to use his Battlizer for that battle. But overall, in general, thanks for watching the video. Let me know what you think about it. Love to hear your opinions. Any suggestions, let me know. Until then, see you on the next video, guys. Peace.